Welcome in this third and last video of an astrologer's day written by Narayan. This is a story entirely about astrologer, who is a central character, and in the story started with his appearance when he came at a noon time in that square area of the city, and thereafter he adjusts his paraphernalia and sat in front of it, just as you are watching in this screen. Thereafter, he made his tie, he made his physical appearance in such a way that he should attract the customers. So he applied some vermilions and ash over his head, his whiskers, and his resplendent personality. So thereafter he wounded a scarlet color turban over his head. All that he made only to attract his customer. So he was so perfect in a shrewd guesswork of the customers, and he knew very well that how to attract the customer. In all that way, he made the color scheme of his appearance, and exactly that was his business. So he came there at the noon time, and he made his setup under the shade of that tamarind tree in the in that town hall square area. Thereafter, there was a complete description of that market, how people or the vendor used to sell the market by the different adjective. In fact, this was their skill, or this is their skill, that to attract the customers in a different way. Sometimes they call their products and just delicacies, sometimes decent, sometimes. So all that was a description in this passage, and there was a complete means, in fact, it was visible to us, and the writer or the Arkanarayan made this description in such a way that we could visualize that how could be the picture, or how could be the scene, or how could be the exact position of that sphere. So it was all here in this passage. Thereafter, we know that this poor people, or this astrologer, are going through very poor conditions. In fact, they are going through the poverty. So that's why they have not their own, in fact, their own home, and that's why this man, our central character, has to depend on someone's, on the lights of someone's, and as they just shut down their business, he also need to wind it up all his business and to live the bliss at the same time. Thereafter, there was information that he had left his village with particular some reason. Else he had not left his village, then he would not have been here. So exactly this was the reason, and else he would not have been here. Then he had to cope up with the condition. He had to just handle the business of his forefathers, and tilting and living and marrying and ripening and all other things. So there was some another description thereafter. Then he was so perfect with a long practice. He became so perfect. He became so meticulous to know the problems of the human life. And we know that certain problems are resembled with everyone. The problems of marriages, the problems of maintaining the relationship, the problems of moral aspect, the problems of farming. So this problem, nobody just left from these problems, and everybody is going through the same problem. So he was just making the investment. He was just making his own experience. He was just pour his own experience at the time, and using the backdrop of that client, he used to predict the future, and he would also succeed in to excavate the past of the same client, and then it became very convenient for this astrologer to make his business. So thereafter, once again, there was a light over the issue that these people become very pure, and that's why they have not his own home, or their own life. So at the time, there was evening time, and certain indications from the side vendor indicated to him that this is the time of the winded off his business. So thereafter, as he was just going to wind up his business, at the same time, two or three persons were stood in front of him, and exactly he thought that this could be my customer. So how can I lead them? So he was just asking them that you are going through some problems, and I have certain solutions for your problems. So just sit down here. So certain discussions and certain haggling process that had taken between them, and thereafter we were here up to that. If you prove you are bluffing, then you must return Anna to me with interest. So he asked them that I can certainly make your future. I can certainly predict about your future. So with all this, you can also get a read from your problems. So certain hagglings were that happened between them. की इथपर्यंत आपण आलेलो होतो की अशा प्रकारची हॅगलिंग, अशा प्रकारचा बिझनेस त्यांच्यामध्ये काही झालेला होता, काही तडजोड त्यांच्यामध्ये झालेली होती. आपण आज इथून सुरुवात करूया थर्ड सेक्शनमध्ये. If you find my answer satisfactory, will you give me 5 rupees? So that was the haggling move. Haggling in the sense adjustment. Adjustment in the sense bargaining. Bargaining in the sense customer wanted to get his prediction in very less amount, and astrologer wanted to some more money to predict their future. So this was exactly the haggling, or this was exactly the process of bargaining. So this was going on here. If you find my answer satisfactory, will you give me 5 rupees? की मी जर तुला माझं जर उत्तर तुला बरोबर वाटलं तर तुला 5 rupees देशील का? Then customer said that no, or will you give me 8 annas? Then once again he dropped down his business, he dropped down his charges, and they said, okay, I'm right there. Will you give me 8 annas? Are you satisfied on 8 annas? If you are ready to give me 8 annas, then I can process something. All right, provide you give me twice as much if you are wrong, said the stranger. Once again, the stranger or one of the customers said to him that if, all right, provided you give me twice as much as if you are wrong. So if you are wrong, then definitely you have to return us in twice रेट. म्हणजे तू जर मला जर वाटलं की तू खोटं बोलतोय किंवा तुला जर जमत नाही आहे प्रिडिक्ट करणं, तर तुला याचे पैसे डबल पैसे द्यावं लागेल. The poet was accepted after, the pact was accepted after a little further argument, and the astrologer sent up a prayer to the heaven as other little cherubs. So what's happened thereafter with certain indications, and that I have very good link with Almighty. So he just makes some certain actions to send ambulances and certain prayer to the heaven. तर मला खूप तसं यातलं माहिती आहे, आणि माझे देवासोबत डायरेक्ट संबंध आहेत. या सगळ्या दृष्टिकोनातून लगेच एक प्रार्थना, काही ॲम्ब्युलन्सेस म्हणजे मंत्रसिद्धी वगैरे करण्याची तुम्हाला माहिती आहे, यांचे काही प्रोसेस असतात किंवा काही ॲक्शन्स असतात, ती त्यांनी केली. त्यामध्येच एकाने काय केलं होतं, चेरूड म्हणजे एक सिगारचा एक प्रकार असतो, ते त्यांनी पेटवली आणि तिथे तो बसला होता. The astrologer caught a glimpse of the face by the matchlight, and there was a pause as a car hooted on the road. Jutka drivers soared at the horses, and the babble of the crowd agitated the semi-darkness of the path. What's happened there? In fact, this was the picture of the evening, or this was an event of the evening. And that's why, because of he had not of his own light, and that's why he had to go with that darkness, or the dark, or that light, that bulb, that habitually, or that certainly, or eventually run his business with the light of others. So that was the dusk time, that was the evening time, and of course there was no light. The astrologer got a glimpse of his face by the matchlight. So when that companion of this Guru Nayak just lit the cigar or lit the cherut at the same light of the matchlight, he caught a glimpse of that Guru Nayak, or the central figure of his, or that next character, or that, or one of the figure of that 3 person. की जसा तो त्याची मॅच लाईट लावतो, त्याच्यामध्ये त्याला दिसतं, त्याचा त्या मॅच लाईटमध्ये, म्हणजे जशी त्यांनी आगपेटी, तो मॅच बॉक्स जशी तो उजाळतो, तेवढा जो वेळ जेव्हा ती लाईट पडते, त्या लाईटमध्ये याला याचा चेहरा दिसून जातो. There was a pause as the car hooted on the road, and Jitko drivers swore at their horses, and the babble of the crowd agitated the semi-darkness of them. There was a pause as the car hooted on the road. You know, that certain firing noise of the vehicles. At the same time, some vehicles were passed by the side, and car hooted on the road. In the sense, it was indication that there was a noise of that firing. Jutka drivers, you know, that chariot, ज्याला आम्ही घोडेवाले टांगेवाले म्हणत असतो. All drivers swore at their horses, and the babble of the crowd agitated on the semi-darkness on the path. Babble in the sense that pandemonium. In the second words, we can say that the pandemonium. Pandemonium in the sense that mixed voice of the different people. For example, cyclists were passing through the road, some people making the gossips, and some all mixed voice of the people or that surrounding atmosphere is called the pandemonium, and pandemonium called the बॅबल व्हॉइस. बॅबल म्हणजे काय की सर्व लोकांचे जे मिश्रित साऊंड असतो, म्हाताऱ्यामध्ये मार्केटमध्ये गेल्यानंतर कोणी ओरडत असतं, काही लोक गप्पा मारत जात असतात, काही लोक दुकानवाले तिथे ओरडत असतात. तर हा सगळ्यांचा मिक्स आवाज म्हणजे इथे बॅबल म्हणू. ॲक्च्युली बॅबल म्हणजे वायफळ बळबळ होते, परंतु तिथे आपण त्याला एक्झॅक्टली वर्ड जो आहे तो पॅन्डेमिनियम, म्हणजे पॅन्डेमिनियम सगळ्या तो आवाज तिथे सगळं तो होता. The other sat down, sucking his chariot, puffing out, sat there ruthlessly, and other two people were just smoking the cigar in the chariot and sat down beside and observing that what's going on between our friend and that astrologer. The astrologer felt very uncomfortable. He said, "Oh, Your Honor, I'm not used to such challenges. Something happened. Something was happened when one of the companion of that man lit that magic light, and during that he caught the glimpse of that central figure or that Guru Nanak. And right from the moment he felt so uncomfortable, and out of that uncomfortability he asked that three people that I'm not working on a challenge, that I'm not used to such a challenges, so here take your anna back, take your money back, I need to go back because I'm getting late. लगेच सगळ्या लोकांना म्हणतो की काहीतरी घडलं होतं. केव्हा घडलं होतं की जेव्हा मॅचबॉक्सची काडी उजळल्या गेली आणि त्या काडी उजळल्यानंतर त्या समोरच्या व्यक्तीचा चेहरा याला दिसला. चेहरा दिसल्यानंतर काहीतरी तिथे बघितलं आणि याला नंतर अनकम्फर्टेबल, अस्वस्थ व्हायला लागलं. he become squeamish at that time, and out of that he confessed to that I am not used to such challenges. Take your anna back. हे तुम्ही तुमचे पैसे घ्या, मला आता घरी जावं लागेल. It is late for me today. मला आता खूप वेळ होतो, मला घरी जावं लागेल. He made preparation to bundle up, and he was just collecting those things what said there. Means collecting that paraphernalia like that pages and that ash and that different things, whatever he said there, paramila bundles and all these things. At the same time, the other held his wrist and said, "You can't get out of it now. You dragged me while I was passing." Then, but they were reluctant. All three people were reluctant. They said that, "No, how can we let you go? Of course, we will not let you go. Because when we were passing through the way, you made insist on, and you asked me to stay here. Then you said that I can solve your problems, and I have certain panacea, and with that panacea you'll get rid of all your problems, and that's why we are here. And now you are denying your problem. You are going back from your problem. You are dragging up your challenge. This is not so good. आता आम्ही तुला इथून जाऊ देणार नाही. आम्ही जेव्हा इथून चाललो होतो तेव्हा तू आम्हाला इथे अडवलं होतं. आम्ही तुझ्याकडे आलो नव्हतो. 2 मिनिटं जसं उभं राहिलं तर तू आम्हाला इथे थांबून घेतलं होतं. आता मात्र आम्ही तुला जाऊ देणार नाही. The astrologer shivered in his grip, and his voice shook and became faint. Now he became panic because there were three, and they holded his wrist. They were three, and they holded his wrist, and that's why he became so panic. He was shivered, and because of that he became so faint. आता मात्र याला गायची घाबरकुंडी उडाली होती. हा घाबरलेला होता. काहीतरी त्या लोकांचा याचा संबंध इतिहासामध्ये किंवा भूतकाळामध्ये होऊन गेला होता. निश्चितपणे आपण हे समजू शकतो. The other thrust his palm in his face and said, "Challenge is challenge. Go on." The astrologer proceeded with his straw drying up. There's a woman. So they replied, "Challenge is challenge. We would not let you go from the place. You ought to tell something to us." तुला काहीतरी आम्हाला सांगावंच लागेल. Then astrologer felt that, okay, I have no other solution, so he just tried up his cough and with certain indication, and he said that, okay, I have no other solutions, I have to cope up with the condition, somehow I have to make a solutions out of that. So he said that, okay, there is a woman. मग याला माहीत पडून गेलं की आपल्याकडे कोणत्याही प्रकारचा आता इलाज नाही आहे. आपल्याला ह्या परिस्थिती आता सामोर जावंच लागेल आहे. म्हणून आपण लगेच असं लगेच करून लगेच सांगायला सुरुवात करतो, देर इज अ वुमन. एवढं म्हणतो लगेच, स्टॉप, सेड द अदर. I don't want all that. Shall I succeed in my present search or not? Oh, stop your nonsense. Because this is not the answer that we expect from you. I don't want all that. Shall I succeed in my present search or not? Answer this and go. I have only one single query. Let me have the answer from you. That what was the question? The question was, shall I succeed in my present search? मी माझ्या एका प्रयत्नामध्ये कोणाला तरी शोधण्यामध्ये या शहरामध्ये आलेलो आहे. तो फक्त मला मिळेल की नाही? जस्ट आन्सर मी अँड गो फ्रॉम दिस प्लेस. एका प्रश्नाचं मला उत्तर दे आणि तू नंतर इथून जाऊ शकतो. Otherwise, I'll not let you go till you disgorge all your coins. Else, after the condition, else you need to disgorge all your money. You need to return all your money with interest. तुला नाहीतर तुझ्याकडचे सगळे पैसे इंटरेस्ट सहित आम्हाला द्यावे लागेल, तरच आम्ही तुला इथं. आता हा एकटा, रात्रीची वेळ झालेली, रस्त्यावरती कोणीच नाही, ते तिघंजणं. डेफिनेटली सम प्रॉब्लेम वेअर इन साईट ऑफ द ॲस्ट्रॉलॉजर. ॲस्ट्रॉलॉजरला आता प्रॉब्लेम तर झालेलाच होता. देन द ॲस्ट्रॉलॉजर मटर्ड फ्यू इन्कॅन्टेशन्स अँड रिप्लाय. इन्कॅन्टेशन इन द सेन्स जादूटोना. इन्कॅन्टेशन म्हणजे अर्थ काय होतो? जादूटोना. ऑर द ॲम्ब्युलन्सेस इन द सेन्स मंत्रसिद्धी वगैरे जे काही आपण म्हणत असतो नॉर्मली इट इज एक्सपेक्टेड फ्रॉम द ॲस्ट्रॉलॉजर्स ऑर सम जगलर्स. So the astrologers muttered a few incantations and replied. So he made certain indications once again with the same aspect and with the ambulances, and muttered something, some chanted something, and thereafter he said that all right, I speak, but you will give me a rupee if what I say is convincing. Else, otherwise, I'll not open my mouth, and you may do what you like. But astrologer was damn sure about that 3%. That's why he wanted to go back from this place. But the condition, such a condition came in front of him that needlessly he had to expose their future. So he was now confident, and he says that, okay, I'll let your future, I'll let your problems, I'll let your prediction, but one condition is you need to give me a 1 rupees, else do whatever, I'll go back, I'll not predict about yourself. नंतर याला माहीत होतं की या तिघा लोकांसंदर्भात माझ्याकडे काहीतरी माहिती आहे, म्हणून तो नंतर आपली कंडिशन टाकतो की तुम्हाला मला 1 रुपया द्यावा लागेल. जर तुम्ही मला दिला नाही तर 1 रुपया. नाव यू मे लाफ ॲट द 1 rupees, बट इट वॉज अ स्टोरी ऑफ so back days. That's why there was a too much value to that 1 rupee. त्या काळामध्ये तुम्हाला कदाचित हसू येईल विद्यार्थी मित्रांनो की 1 रुपया आपण सांगतो 1 रुपया हा घेणार, परंतु त्या फार जुनी ती गोष्ट होती, त्यामुळे 1 रुपयाला सुद्धा खूप जास्त महत्त्व होतं. आणि म्हणून तो म्हणाला की मी तुम्हाला काहीतरी सांगतो, पण तुम्हाला मला 1 रुपया द्यावा लागेल, नाही तर तुम्हाला जे वाटतं तुम्ही करून घ्या, मी तुमचं फ्युचर सांगणार नाही. After a good deal of haggling, the other agreed, and the astrologer said that you were left for a date. Am I right? Because this astrologer had some specific information about the figure of that group. That's why he was so sure about that. And therefore, the astrologer exposed the first truth in front of that, and he said that you are left for dead. Am I right? तुला मरणाकरता कोणीतरी सोडून गेलेलं होतं. म्हणजे तुझी परिस्थिती अशी होती की तुला मरणाच्या दारात मारले, म्हणजे इतकं तुला मारलं गेलेलं होतं, तुला कोणीसर तुझ्यासोबत कोणातरी भांडण झालेलं होतं, आणि तो बेशुद्ध अवस्थेमध्ये असताना तुला कुठेतरी टाकून दिलं गेलं होतं. राईट? बरोबर बोलतोय मी? Oh, tell me more. The knife has passed through you once, said the astrologer. The astrologer said that, yeah, the knife was passed through once. Am I right? Once again. Oh, he was so excited. Oh, tell me more. That you are going in the right direction. Tell me more something about my future, about my history, tell me something, or expose some prediction. Good fellow, he bare his chest to show the scars and what else. तो लगेच आपलं बटन वगैरे शर्ट वगैरे काढतो आणि त्यांना म्हणतो की बघ इथेच तुझे सांगतो ना त्याचे बरोबर आहे, इथेच मला त्यांनी मारलेलं होतं, माझ्या छातीवरचे लगेच तो स्कार्स आणि जे व्रण असतात ते सगळीकडून त्यांना सांगतो आहे. आणि त्यावेळची परिस्थिती होती जी ही तुमच्या स्क्रीनवरती जशा प्रकारची दिसते आहे तशाच प्रकारची परिस्थिती होती. आणि यावेळेस असं काही विशेष या अंधारामध्ये किंवा डस्ट टाईममध्ये दिसत नव्हतं. मात्र आता रात्र होत चाललेली होती. I should have been dead if some passer-by had not chanced to peep into the well, exclaimed the other, overwhelmed by the enthusiasm. Enthusiasm in the sense they were enthusiastic because of the conclusion that this man definitely will tell something about my future, about my past. That's why they were enthusiasm. एल्स तुम्ही म्हणाल की इंथुझियाझम म्हणजे फार मोठ्या आनंदामध्ये एक त्यांना एक जॉय झालेला होता, ओव्हरवेल झालेले होते, भारावलेले होते. का ओव्हरवेल म्हणजे भारावलेले असते. का बरं भारावलेले होते? कारण तो त्यांच्या फ्युचर संदर्भात एक्झॅक्टली सांगून आला होता. ही आपल्यासोबत सुद्धा गोष्ट होती की जर कोणी आपलं फ्युचर जर आपल्याला सांगत असेल तर निश्चितपणे आपल्या इतिहासामध्ये झालेल्या गोष्टी जर जसच्या तशा जर आपल्याला सांगत असेल तर आपल्यासुद्धा त्याचा आनंद होतो किंवा आपण सुद्धा इंथुझियास्टिक होऊ शकतो. एक्झॅक्टली हेच तिथे झालेलं होतं आणि म्हणून ते इंथुझियास्टिक झालेले होते. आणि मग हो, आय शुड हॅव बीन डेड इफ समवन पासर बाय हॅड नॉट चान्स टू पीप इन टू द वेल. मला सुद्धा मारून नंतर एका विहिरीमध्ये टाकलेलं होतं, पण बायचान्स लोकांनी मला तिथे डोकावलं. पीप इनसाईड म्हणजे डोकावणे, असं आठ डोकावलं त्यांना मी दिसलो आणि त्याने मला त्यातून बाहेर काढलं. एल्स यू आर परफेक्ट. When shall I get at him? Asked, clenching his fist. So he just hold arms of that astrologer and ask him with very anger, with a rude way, when shall I get him? यस, ज्याने मला मारलं त्याच्याच तर प्रयत्नामध्ये आम्ही इथे आलेला. कुठे मिळणार तो, कुठे मिळणार नेमका? इन द नेक्स्ट वर्ल्ड आन्सर द ॲस्ट्रोलॉजर. ॲस्ट्रोलॉजर बिकम सो कॉन्फिडंट दॅट नाउ ही सेज दॅट यू शॅल गेट हिम इन द नेक्स्ट वर्ल्ड. तुम्हाला तो आता दुसऱ्याच जगामध्ये मिळेल. म्हणजे काय? ही डाईड 4 months ago इन द फार ऑफ टाउन. तुम्ही ज्याच्या शोधामध्ये इथे आलेला आहात, डाईड एगो, तो बरेच दिवसा अगोदर तो मरण पावलेला. इनफॅक्ट 4 months ago, फार ऑफ फ्रॉम द टाउन, या शहरापासून किंवा हे जे काही गाव आहे बऱ्याच दिवस दूर थोडंसं तो मरण पावलेला आहे. यू विल नेवर सी एनी मोर ऑफ हिम. द अदर ग्रोन ऑन हिअरिंग इट. द ॲस्ट्रोलॉजर प्रोसिडेड. देन द ॲस्ट्रोलॉजर सेड दॅट यू विल नेव्हर सी एनी मोर ऑफ हिम. तुम्हाला आता कधी तो पाहणार मिळणार नाही कारण तो ऑलरेडी मरून चुकलेला आहे. लगेच तो काय म्हणतो, ॲस्ट्रोलॉजर प्रोसिडेड, गिरनायक, you know my name. The others said, taken aback. They were once again astounded. They were thunderstruck with the answer, with the name, with the title, Guru Nayak. त्यांना फार आश्चर्याचं तो खबर. इनफॅक्ट दे बिकम स्टार्टल्ड. त्यांना फार दचकले ते. याला कसं काय आमचं नाव माहिती आहे? याला तर खूपच जास्त प्रगत अशा प्रकारचा ॲस्ट्रोलॉजर दिसतो तो. As in all other thing, Guru Nayak, listen carefully to what I have to say. Now he became much more confident because of the answer. He said that, yeah, if you wanted to live more, listen me carefully. मला जर भविष्य अजून किंवा अजून जगायचं असेल तर माझ्याकडे जरा लक्ष द्या, तरच तुम्ही जगू शकाल. युअर विलेज इज 2 days ईशानी ड्यू टू नॉर्थ इन दिस टाउन. उत्तरेकडे तुमचं इथून 2 दिवसाची जर्नी होईल, 2 दिवसाचा प्रवास होईल. अशा प्रकारे तुमचं इतक्या दूर तुमचं गाव आहे. टेक द नेक्स्ट ट्रेन अँड बी गॉन. दुसरी ट्रेन पकडा आणि इथून निघून जा. Because what's happened, I see once again great danger in your life. If you go from home, then once again he predicted the next sentence to them that I'm looking that I see once again the great danger in your life. Once again one danger is waiting for you. Do the best, get a train and grab that train and go away from this place as soon as possible for you. जितक्या लवकर होईल तितक्या लवकर ही ट्रेन पकडा आणि इथून तुम्ही निघून जा, नाही तर तुमच्या जीवनामध्ये अजून एक धोका मी बघतो आहे. मोठ्या मुश्किलने ते एकदा तुम्ही वाचले आहे. Now all three were damn sure about this, that because he told them such a things that then definitely they strongly believed on the words or on the tongue of this astrologer. यांच्यावरती एवढा स्ट्रॉंग बिलीव्ह झालेला होता त्यांचा. आणि त्याच्या संदर्भात गुरुनायक संदर्भात त्यांच्या इतिहासातल्या भूतकाळातल्या अशा प्रकारच्या गोष्टी सांगितल्या होत्या की त्यांचा निश्चितपणे त्यांच्यावरती खूप जास्त विश्वास बसलेला होता. He took out a pinch of sacred ash and held it him. Rub it on your forehead and go ahead. Never travel southward again. You will live to be 100. And then once again he just put his hand in that ash can out and ask him get it and apply it as soon as possible for you, and never come back to in the southward direction, else you'll once again get in danger. So you'll live a hundred if you apply this ash, and I'll once again utter some incantation in favor of you. So go ahead. ही ॲश घ्या, साऊथला निघून जा आणि नंतर पुन्हा वापस येऊ नका. निश्चितपणे तुम्ही फार खूप जास्त तुमचं भविष्य चांगलं आहे आणि तुम्ही साधारणतः 100 वर्ष जगाल असं मला सगळं काही तुमच्या याच्यातून दिसतं. Why should I leave home again? The other said reflectively, I was only going away now. And then he looked for him and to choke out his life if I met him. He said, that, why do I leave home again? In fact, we are here in search of that man. But if he died 4 months back, so no problem at all. But there is a desire in my mind to kill him, to strangulate him by my hand. माझ्या मनामध्ये एक इच्छा होती की माझ्या हाताने जर त्यांना मारता आलं तर निश्चितपणे मला फार चांगलं असतं. पण ठीक आहे, तो मेला आहे, इट्स ओके. आता फार चांगलं झालेलं तो मेला. तर ही शुक हिज हँड रिग्रेटफुली. पण एक खंत त्यांच्या मनामध्ये होती, रिग्रेट म्हणजे पश्चातापाची एक खंत त्यांच्या मनामध्ये होती की त्याला आमच्या हाताने आम्ही मारू शकलो पाहिजे होतं. ही हॅज एक्स्टेड माय हँड. आय होप दॅट ॲटलीस्ट ही डाईड ॲज ही डिझर्व. यस, ही सेड द ॲस्ट्रोलॉजर दॅट ही वॉज क्रश अंडर द लॉरी. द अदर लुक ग्रॅटिफाईड टू हिअर इट. ऑल वी आर प्लीज टू हिअर दॅट मॅन वॉज क्रश अंडर द लॉरी. तर सगळ्या लोकांना आनंद, इनफॅक्ट त्या लोकांना आनंद मिळण्याकरताच त्यांनी हे सांगितलं होतं की तुम्ही ज्याच्या शोधामध्ये आहात तो काय झालेला आहे, एका लॉरीच्या खाली येऊन क्रश झालेला होता. द अदर लुक ग्रॅटिफाईड इन द सेन्स दे वर प्लीज टू हिअर दिस न्यूज. ही वार्ता ऐकल्यानंतर निश्चितपणे त्यांना आनंद झाला होता आणि त्यांना आनंद देण्याकरताच यांनी अशा प्रकारची वार्ता त्यांना सांगितली होती की त्याने बॅक टू 4 months ही वॉज डाईड बिकॉज ही केम अंडर द लॉरी अँड ॲट इन्स्टंटली ही डाईड अवे ॲट अ टाईम. सो एक्झॅक्टली त्याच वेळेस तो मरण पावलेला होता. त्याच्यामुळे तो काही प्रश्न आता शिल्लक राहिलेलाच नाही आहे. द प्लेस वॉज डिझर्टेड बाय द टाइम द ॲस्ट्रोलॉजर पिक अप हिज आर्टिकल्स अँड पुट दॅम इन टू हिज बॅग. So after hearing all this, all 3 people went away from the place. Meanwhile, there was a lot of darkness because, and in fact, he was too late in the consequences that happened between these 3 people and this astrologer. की आता वेळ खूप झालेली होती, जागा विराण झालेली, डेझर्टेड म्हणजे काय, इथे विराण जागा झालेली होती, रात्र बरेच झाली होती. यांच्यामध्ये जे काही कॉन्सिक्वेन्सेस झालेले होते ते खूप वेळ चालले. त्याच्यामुळे आता ॲस्ट्रोलॉजर तिथे एकटाच होता. द ग्रीन शार्ट वॉज ऑल्सो गॉन. एक शेवटचा जो किरण होता, जो एक हिरवा किरण त्याच्या याच्याकडे यायचा, तो सुद्धा निघून गेला होता. बिकॉज ही वॉज टू लेट बिकॉज ऑफ द कॉन्सिक्वेन्सेस, बिकॉज ऑफ द इव्हेंट दॅट हॅड टेकन बिटवीन देम. The stranger had gone off into the night, and after giving the astrologer a handful of coins. Thereafter, all these 3 people went away after putting that handful of coins in hands of putting that handful of coins in hand of this astrologer. ते सगळे निघून गेले. तत्पूर्वी मात्र या 3ही लोकांनी याच्या हातामध्ये फिस्टमध्ये बसतील एवढे कॉईन्स त्याला देऊन टाकलेलं. अँड thereafter they went from the place, they deserted from the place immediately. It was nearly midnight when the astrologer reached home. It was almost at midnight. Such a way or such a consequences that happened, and because of that he came in his own home in the midnight. His wife was waiting for him at the door and demanded an explanation. Of course, my husband or my better half today was so late, and what was the reason that she was so curious. In fact, she wanted to know the explanation why he was so late today, and that's why she was eagerly waiting on the door, and then the door on the threshold of a home. आणि म्हणून अंबरल्यामध्ये राहून ती सारखी त्याची वाट बघत ती तिथे उभी होती. तिला एक्सप्लेनेशन हवं होतं की नेमकं तुमच्यासोबत काय घडलं की तुम्ही आज इतके वेळ लेट झालेले आहे. बट ही वॉज नॉट इन दॅट मूड. ही फ्लंग आउट द कॉइन्स ॲट हर हँड अँड सेड काउंट देम. वन मॅन गिव ऑल दॅट. He, without saying any single word in front of his better half, he just put all that handful of coin, whatever delivered by the 3 men, in hand of on palm of that on his better half, and he said that count it, I'll get back you as soon. लगेच वापस होतो, तोंडावर पाणी वगैरे मारून तोपर्यंत हे तू मोजून ठेव. 12.5 an hour, she said, counting. She says that 12.5, 12.5 आणा हे आहेत. She was overjoyed because she watched this, or she received this coin from a long time. That's why she was overjoyed. बरेच दिवसानंतर तिच्या हातामध्ये ते पैसे मिळालेले होते म्हणून तिला खूप आनंद झालेला होता. I can buy some jaggery and coconut tomorrow. The child has been asking for sweet for so long, many days now. So I'll prepare some nice stuff for them. She was overjoyed because her children um, required, or they were asking her that we want to save, but because of the poverty, because of unavailability of the money, she could not fulfill the needs of her children. That's why she was also, and see that I'll get some jaggery and coconut, and with amalgamations of that I'll make some nice stuff for them. So that's why she was so overjoyed. माझ्या मुलांना आपण काय करू, म्हणजे आपले मुलं जे आहे ते बरेच दिवसापासून गोडधोड काहीतरी म्हणत होते, परंतु अद्यापर्यंत पैसे नसल्यामुळे आपण काही करू शकलो नाही. मात्र आता मी ते बनवणार. दॅट्स वाईट. आणि म्हणून ती खूप जास्त आनंदी होती. द स्वाईन हॅड चिटेड मी, दे प्रॉमिस मी रुपी, सेड द ॲस्ट्रॉलॉजर. द स्वाईन इन द सेन्स डुक्कर. इथे आपण एक शिवी त्याला म्हणू की त्या मूर्खांनी मला मूर्ख बनवलं आहे, त्या वाईट लोकांनी मला मूर्ख बनवलेलं आहे. कारण 1 रुपयाचं त्यांनी कमिटमेंट केलेलं होतं, पण हातात फक्त 12.5 अंडा दिले. शी लुक ॲट हिम, ही लुक वरीड, व्हॉट्स रॉंग? But he was looking so pensive, and once again that better half gives the expression over the face of her husband, and that's why she put a question that you're looking so pensive, you're looking so worried, what's happened, what's wrong? तिच्या नवऱ्याच्या म्हणजे ॲस्ट्रॉलॉजरच्या चेहऱ्यावरचे सगळे गेस बघता, एक्सप्रेशन बघता तिला वाटलं की निश्चित आपले पती काहीतरी चिंतामग्न दिसतात. आय लुकिंग सो केअर मॉन, व्हॉट्स अ प्रॉब्लेम, व्हॉट्स रॉंग विथ यू? ही सेड नथिंग. आफ्टर डिनर सिटिंग ऑन द पियाल इन द सेन्स एक मराठीमध्ये आपण त्याला म्हणू की ग्रामीण भागात लोकांच्याकडे जी खाट असते त्या खाटला एक्झॅक्टली पियाल म्हणतात. इन नॉर्मल सेन्स वी कॅन कॉल इट अ बेड. So after dinner, जेवण वगैरे त्यांनी घेतलं, sitting on the pier, he told her, "Do you know a great lead is gone from me today?" Then he exposed. Then he unraveled that enigma. What's happening? You know that the great burden has been uplifted from my head. एक फार मोठं ओझं माझ्या डोक्यावरून आज निघून गेलं. काय झालं, काहीतरी झालं तरी नेमकं काय? I thought I had the blood of a man on my hand all these years. Then he exposed that. I thought I had been murdered. I had been the blood of a man on my hand all these years. 3 वर्षापासून आपण इथे आलेलो आहे, आणि त्या 3 वर्षाच्या काळात किंवा त्या 3 वर्षाच्या अगोदर माझ्या डोक्यावर एक बर्डन होतं की मी एका माणसाचा खून केलेला आहे. तो मात्र माझ्या डोक्यावरून असा अपलिफ्ट झालेला आहे. ते टेन्शन मला आज राहिलेलं नाही. That's the reason why I ran away from them. Exactly, this was the reason why he had left that home and set a business of the astrologer in the city. This is particularly the reason behind that. This could be the question in your examination, that why he had left his home. The answer is that because of this murder, he had left his home and married you, and thereafter set our business of the astrology here. But ही इज अलाइव. ज्या कारणामुळे आपण ते गाव, आपलं वडलोपाची शेती, गाव सोडलं, मी इथे आलो, तुझ्यासोबत लग्न केलं, इथे आपला ॲस्ट्रॉलॉजीचा बिझनेस इथे डेव्हलप केला. काय त्याचं कारण होतं? तर हे कारण होतं की मला असं वाटलं की मी एका माणसाचा मर्डर केला, आणि त्या गोष्टीतून सुटण्याकरता आपण इथे 200, 300, 400 किलोमीटर जे काही गावापासून होतं, आपल्या खेड्यापासून होतं, इथे आपण आलेलो आहे. पण तू जिवंत आहे. दॅट्स वाय आय एम टेलिंग यू द ग्रेट लोड इज गॉन अवे फ्रॉम माय हेड. आणि म्हणून माझ्या डोक्यावरचं आज जे खूप मोठं प्रेशर होतं ते सगळं निघून गेलं. शी गास इन द सेन्स देर वॉज अ पॅल्पिटेशन. गास इन द सेन्स जोराने धापा टाकणे. ॲज शी हर्ड द न्यूज ऑफ मर्डर अँड स्ट्रँग्युलेशन्स अँड ऑल अँड ब्लडशेड. शी गास इन द सेन्स, वन्स अगेन आय एम टेलिंग यू दॅट पॅल्पिटेशन, हृदयाचे धोके तिचे वाढले. You try to kill him. She raised a question. Valid question. So you try to kill him. तुम्ही त्याला मारण्याचा प्रयत्न केला होता. Yes, in our village, that when I was silly youngster, it happened that when I was a youngster, जेव्हा मी मूर्ख होतो आणि त्या तरुणपणाच्या वयामध्ये ते माझ्याकडनं झालेलं होतं. We drank and gambled and quarreled badly one day. Of course, when they played gamble at that time, there was a quarrel, there was a quibble, there was a scuffle, and at that time it happened coincidentally. Oh, but why think of it now? तुम्ही आता ते विचार का करताय? It's all gone away. Leave it all away. Now आता ते सगळं सोडा आहे. It's a time to sleep. He said, yawning and stretched himself on the pier. Thereafter, he was too much tired because of the long day practice, because of that laborious work, uh, because of all the consequences that happened today with him. He was so tired. He was so drained there. He was extremely exhausted, and that's why he just stretched his hand and went to sleep on the same pier. So this was all the story of the astrologer. The writer threw light on many aspects of the life of this astrologer, how they meet their aims and what's happened with this astrology, and the exact description of that weekly bazaar, that squares, all was looking so astonishing, so nice. So in this way, I think we saw the story of the astrology. I have great hope that you understood it very well, and rest of that brainstorming and all other things and question answer we'll see in the next video. I hope that you understood it very well. See you in the next video.